to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thanks for coming on my show today, Liz.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
You've been at Clovis Hills forever. I've only been around since 2018.
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
I actually helped start the church 32 years ago.
And I heard it was really small in the beginning.
There were about 40 of us that got together before the church even started. And we met together and we prayed and we envisioned what God could do in Clovis. And we wanted to have a church that was different. Church, I think, had declined for a lot of people. And there were a lot of things that happened in churches that caused people to not go anymore. And so we Pastor Steve and Shirley, who are our founding pastor and his wife, they did some research. They actually were in seminary, and the assignment they had was to go to a bar and ask people, yes, and ask people what if they went to church. And if they said yes, that's great. If they said no, then they would ask them, why didn't you go? And a lot of it, of what we do now, came from those conversations. And we have core values at Clovis Hills. And one of our number one values is open acceptance. So we welcome people from wherever they are just to come. We tell people, we don't care where you've been, we care where you're going. So we want to come alongside you and care for you and help you. First of all, know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, because He is the hope of the world. But we also want you to feel like no matter where you've been, that you can feel at home at Clovis Hills. In fact, we have our sign out front that says, welcome home. We want people to feel welcome.
I definitely feel at home when I'm there.
Right. So that was one of the things that we did. We went with some upbeat music so that it felt more like what people were listening to already on the radio, that they're like, I don't know if people listen on the radio anymore, but anyway, what people listen to, CDs and DVDs or different things. But anyway, that was part of what we were doing, trying to take away things that would keep people from coming to church. And so open acceptance was a really important part of that. Another one of our core values is devotion to God and His Word. And we'll tell people, you know, we don't take ourselves seriously, but we take the Word of God very seriously. And that's why when we are teaching pastors speak, they ask for us to stand in reverence of God's Word, because we are devoted to God, and what He has to tell us is the utmost thing. And then serving is another core value. And that's where anybody that wants to be a part of a serve team, it's a way of getting connected, because we have learned that the way that people stick at church is through relationships and responsibilities. That's really what does it. And so having a place that you serve makes all the difference in the world. And so we know that Jesus came as a servant. They thought He was going to come as this warrior and wipe everybody out, the Romans out, and He was going to be in charge. But He's like, no, I came to serve, not to be served, and to be a ransom, a price. He came to die for us. And that was really a foreign thing for them. They weren't expecting that. And we know that we're never more like Jesus than when we're serving Him. And then our fourth value is fun. And Pastor Sean brought that on. And we have fun at church. We laugh. You know, one of the things that we do before we take our offering is we do a hoop and a holler, because Pastor Sean played a joke on Pastor Scott a few years ago, and just thought that it would be so funny when we go to take the offering, which is kind of an awkward time for a lot of people, was just when he would say, it's time for the offering, let's have everybody shout, yay, and clap and everything. And Scott had no idea that was going to happen until it happened. And then it caught on. So that's why whenever we do that each week, we hoop and holler, because God loves a generous giver. That's what He tells us in His Word. And so it's fun. It's just a part of what we do. We just have a great time there. You can't be around Sean very long and not have fun.
Laugh.
Or laugh, right? He is a joker with a capital J, and we love that about him. And he's really brought the fun to Clovis Hills. But we tell people that the way that you really get involved other than serving is through connecting. And we have a pathway, a deliberate pathway for people to be able to come into the church. And we call that connect, grow, serve, go. And we have a pathway through each one of those. And connecting to God is one of those ways that you grow in your faith, is connecting to Him and connecting to one another. And so once a month, we offer something called Desserts with the Pastors, which we're going to have one coming up in January, the last Tuesday in January. And it's open to anybody that wants to come, can come, and you can meet the other pastors, and you get to hear their stories, and we get to hear the people's stories that are coming. And it's just a great time of fellowship and fun, and just getting to learn more about people and who they are and what brought them to Clovis Hills. And then grow is the next part of that. And grow is one of those things where you're going to grow in your relationship with God, and you're going to grow in your relationship with one another. And we know that being together, making relationships, building those things are a big part of what we do. And so the way that we have people get involved in that area is through growth groups. And I oversee the growth groups at the church, and I love that job because for me, seeing people get connected and start growing is just the secret sauce of church. I love it so much. And I've seen people, I was having a conversation with a lady just the other day, and she said, I come to church, but when it's over, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because she doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you need to get involved in a growth group. You need to find your people and hang out with them. So when you come to church, then you recognize a few faces. When you come to on campus and there's 500 or 600 people and you don't know anybody, it's intimidating. But when you come on and you know maybe 10 people or so because you're in their growth group, it changes everything. It lowers your defenses, and so that you're able to enjoy that, enjoy those friendships. And it's where people really get to know you, where they can pray for you. When if you have something, a need in your life, they can help meet those needs.
Right.
So it's a really important part of what we do. And we study, a lot of our groups do what we call sermon-based groups. So whatever our pastors are teaching about at the Sunday service, we go deeper into that in our growth groups. So if you were at church on Sunday or you listened online later, you got to hear what the message was about. So when you came to your growth group, instead of feeling like you didn't know anything, which is a big deterrent for a lot of people, they don't want to go to a group and look stupid. But you've heard the message, you know what Pastor Sean or Scott or whoever spoke about, and we just have questions. We have a question writing team. They write questions based upon whatever that sermon was about. And you talk about those things in your group. And it just makes it pretty informal. In fact, I believe you're in a group that does that very thing with
Right.
Drew. And what do you think about that? I mean, what have you learned? Anything from
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, honestly, and this is where we're gonna have a bone to pick with you. The saddest thing about growth group, and this is what I've dealt with in the past, is that we break in summertime.
Yes.
And it's always sad for me because I feel
Yeah.
like lost for those 3 months
Right.
that I don't have that connection that I can't, and then they always say, well, that's what we do here. And I'm like, but I need my friends. I want to so that's how much I love growth group. That the thing
so
I dislike the
great.
most is that we break in summertime.
Well, I love that. Well, let me just clarify, Sparkle, just so you know this. I do not tell the growth group leaders what to do. I give them
Right.
options. And so some of them choose to because they've been going, full
I
steam
know it's
ahead.
a lot of work. They're doing all the
And
work.
they're
I
like,
get
we
that.
just kind of need a break. But there are groups that do go through the summer.
Okay.
And there's groups that just maybe meet once a month during the summer. And they
we
make
did
it,
that. We try to do that.
And that kind of made it where you just had fun times together. Because that's part of relationship, is learning about each other, having fun together, learning what your hobbies are, what your likes are, your dislikes, joking with each other, having a good time. And so summer is kind of where you can do some of those things where you maybe go to the lake one day or
hike
or
Right.
Exactly. So I totally get it, because you get connected with those people and you look forward to the meeting with them each week. So I totally get what you're saying, but I like for the growth groups to decide on their own what they want to do. I help give them equipping and teaching that they need, the leaders, whatever they need from me, I will do that for them. But as far as if they're going to do a sermon-based study or if they're going to do something different, that's their choice. In fact, we're doing something unique that we haven't done in quite a while coming up in January, and it's called an all-church study. And so we're having people, brand new people, sign up to host a group in their home. And we're going to do a study by a gentleman named Mark Middleberg, who wrote Contagious Faith. And this is a wonderful idea of how God shaped us so that we all have different ways that we share our faith. And so I know that when you say the word evangelism, it scares people.
Yeah.
But really, it's just how God created you is how your evangelism leaks out of you. For some people, it's just getting together and having a cup of coffee and building a friendship. And in those conversations, you learn about that person and you start sharing things about what your needs are in your life and maybe what your disappointments are or any hard things, dramas and things that you're going through. And so because you're building a friendship, it builds trust. And so somebody would be able to listen to you a little bit more. And you have an opportunity as you're sharing to say, gosh, I've been right where you are. I've been divorced. I've been down and out. But you know what? God picked me up and put me back where I needed to be. And He was my rescuer. He was my savior. Can I share with you a little bit more about that and why He's important to have in your life? And then another way that God creates people is through serving. We just had a serve week in November for our women in the church. And we had all different organizations around that you could go and be a part of. Poverello House.
Oh yeah, my mom was a part of that. She
Oh,
enjoyed
she
it.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah.
She goes to the Clovis Old Town campus. She
Oh,
was a part of
okay.
that
Yes,
group. And
yeah.
yeah.
That went and did that. And it was just, there's some people that is just their thing. They're like, I love to serve. And so they would, they signed up to do different places. We did the Pregnancy Care Center. Like I said, we did the Mission. We did Heart for the Horse. Just all kinds of different places that you go. We actually have a ministry in our church, Hearts to Hands for our homeless mobile ministry that Jessica does. And she goes out into downtown Fresno and different areas, and she provides meals and clothes and care and love for the people that are homeless. And so there were people that came and took part of that. And those are all ways that you show people that God is a God of love. God is something that we want to share with people so that they can have hope, they can have peace, they can have joy, and we can do that through serving. Another way that God has created us is through storytelling. And so if you had something in your life that was dramatic and God rescued me, I don't know what your faith story is, but if you're in your faith story, maybe, some people share how they were addicted to drugs or alcohol or whatever it might be, maybe in an abusive relationship or whatever, and God rescued them. As they're talking with somebody and that person shares with them a story that they've gone through the same thing, they're able to share, you know what, I've been where you've been, and this is what God did for me. And so that's another way. And then there's another one where it's truth telling, where you're able to listen to somebody and they're talking about their life, and it's like, you know what, you just need Jesus. That's what you need in your life. I can see that He is going to be the hope that you need. I was at the baseball camp in Arizona a few months ago, and the Lord just had me come upon a gal. She worked there. I was at the Giants-Dodger game, and my husband and I are Dodger fans. And she was just, she was kind of down and out. And so I just asked her, are you okay? And she said, I need a come to Jesus moment. And I said, perfect. Let's sit down. Let's talk. And so I was able to talk with her and hear her story, and actually was able to pray with her. And she said to Jesus right there at baseball camp.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. And so it's times like that where you're like, God wants you to come alongside Him. He wants to be able to give you that opportunity to share His love with people and be a part of that, where you can invite people to accept Jesus Christ. And, we say every week, the last thing that Pastor Sean says to us is, be the church, and go be the church. And that's how we are the church. And that's how we can do that. And, we're starting our big Raise to Life coalition that we're doing in January that starts.
Okay, so what is this all about?
So Raise to Life is where we're going to, over 2 years, we're going to see 2,000 people come to know Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior. That is why, one of the main reasons why we're doing Contagious Faith, because it's not enough just to bring people to church on Sundays. You won't reach 2,000 people just by doing that. you need to have opportunities where people in the church are equipped and trained to share their faith so that they can have those opportunities in everyday life. Because truth is, not everybody is going to come to church. There are some people, they're whatever's happened in their life, they're like, I'm never going to walk in a church building. But you can share with them in a store, in their home, in a park, wherever it is. You can share with them about Jesus in those different ways that I was just telling you.
What I love about Club, it sounds like what I was telling you that I've done a couple
Yeah.
of times. You had these like unique events where, and it might be shallow to come to these events, but it gets us there. So why
Absolutely.
not? But we had,
Right.
so we had Corn come,
Right.
we had the Carr
Yes,
brothers.
yes.
So those were some times where I got like my friends that would never
Yeah,
step foot in a church to
exactly.
come to church. And so, do we have any events coming up like that this year that you know of?
Well, we're going to be doing events like that over the next 2 years. So
Okay.
you just need to
That's
stay
part of
tuned
the- okay.
because Pastor Sean's already working on that, and he has some great people that he's connecting with. So just stay tuned. I don't know for sure who they are right now, so I don't want to say it. But I know that is exactly what we're going to do. Is we're going to have some of those opportunities where you would get somebody to come to church because Brian Head Welch is there, and you're like, well, I know him. I want to come hear his story. So,
Right.
so people will do that. And so that's another way.
And what about growth groups? I know, okay, so I had friends also that they have their home church and they want to come because they like Sean, they like some of the stuff. So they want to come to the growth group. They're not commit to the church, but come just to the group. Is now a good time? Is January a good time to kind of do that? Because we took a little winter break and we're going in January. So what kinds of things should we expect with growth group in January?
Absolutely. So what's going to happen is right on January the 8th, we're going to do something called Growth Group Connections.
Okay.
And we're going to do it for the 8th and the 15th on Sundays after church. And what I will have is a table set up with the information, all the different contagious faith groups that you can join. I have over 30 contagious faith groups right now. I do. And so I was excited because that can represent potentially 250 to 300 new people that can get into a growth group. A lot of times people are afraid to get into a group because, it's been happening for a while and I don't know anybody.
That's a big one.
Right? But if you come into a group that's brand new, you get to start it with them, so you get to be a part of that right away. And so it takes that wall down. And so we'll have that, and then it'll also be on our website. You'll be able to go under registrations. You'll be able to see all of our growth groups there. It's also on our app, our Clovis Hills app. You can see there how you can join a growth group. So those different places there. And so whether you come in person or you do it online, and we actually will have some online groups as well.
Oh, wow.
So if you don't want to come in person, maybe you're still careful because of COVID and everything, you can do an online group. And we have some of those that are happening as well. So we try to take away all of the barriers and excuses that people might have because we believe in the benefits of growth groups and being together and building those relationships.
We still met virtually during COVID, my group. What's the range of growth group? Anywhere from like 3 to 20? How big do you want to?
We followed the leadership of what Jesus Christ did. And what did he do? He came and he got 12 scrawny men, put them together in a group. And that's usually, we tell people somewhere between 12 and 16 because we know not everybody's going to come every week.
Right.
So you end up somewhere between 8 and 10 people, which is perfect. Because we know if you get over that many people, your introverts in the group will shut down. People that are extroverts have no trouble sharing in a big group, but introverts are more introspective, so they want a smaller group. And so we would tell people, we try to limit our groups to somewhere around, 10, 12, something around there, with a maximum around 16. And so you would be able to join one of those and you would get to know people. And when you're in a smaller group like that, it becomes family.
Oh, for sure.
My husband and I lead a Thursday night group on campus. We do that. And that's our family. And we're so thrilled. I got COVID not too long ago. They brought me meals. I care for my mom. My mom lives with me. And they brought meals for her.
Oh,
they helped
that's
us.
awesome.
And so if you're not in a group, if people don't know the needs in your life, they can't help you.
Right.
But when you're in a growth group, people, they learn about you. They learn what you need. And so you feel comfortable reaching out and saying, can I get some help? And they're like, yes, absolutely, we want to help you. And I mean, it's one of the saddest things that I hear at churches is when people, they come, but they never engage. Nobody ever really knows their name. Nobody prays for them. I mean, we pray corporately as a church, but they're not known. And then something critical happens in their life, and they don't understand why somebody didn't come and help them. But if you never disclose who you are, how can we help you?
Right.
And growth groups are that perfect way where we can get to know you and your needs.
And then you tell us too, it seems like there's almost one every day of the week, right? So
Oh
you
my
can kind of
goodness,
help us.
I do.
And that's why I love it, because I joined the Sunday because I'm a
Yes.
personal trainer, so I have to work some of those
Yeah.
weeknights.
Yeah.
So I really like the fact that there's something for every day of the week, so we don't miss out if we have to work at nighttime.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy because I have like a Saturday morning group, I have a Sunday
Oh,
night
wow,
group,
okay.
I have Friday night group. So I'm really happy that we're getting, and Sunday afternoon group as well.
I never knew about the Saturday morning. That's cool.
We actually
Okay.
have one that meets on our right. We have one that meets on our campus on Sundays during second service, and so I love that. So you can go to first service and then go to your growth group right after that.
Wow, that is
So
really
yeah, so there's
So you learned something.
you
There's
learn
so
so
much.
many, there's so many things. And so if somebody doesn't attend Clovis Hills, they can go on our website and they can sign up for one of those groups. I mean, anybody is welcome to come
And
to a
then
growth
we can
group.
also do a newsletter, right? So people that are watching that want to be just stalkers of Clovis Hill, they don't want to commit yet.
Yeah.
Where's the best place for them to go? Or is it Instagram, Facebook, or just to sign up somehow to the
Well,
mailing list?
we do put it out on Instagram and Facebook, and there will be links there. And actually, Pastor Sean and Marlena did a video that you'll be able to see in the next few weeks that they did.
Okay.
And Mark Middleberg did a video for us as well, and he's going to be talking about contagious faith and why it's important for us to learn those styles that God put in us and how to use those. And we also have our website at clovishills.com. You can always go there and you can find out the information. And then our app is another way. So there's
the app. And then so through the app, can we get on the mailing list? Because I find out a lot of stuff through the emails that you guys send me.
Yes. And so the way that you get on that email list is to have filled out a Connect card. So we talk about that every Sunday when we're at church. We're like, welcome. We have a Connect card for you to fill out if you can do that.
Because it's just an email. No one's going to you don't have to. You can just look at the email and that's,
you can delete it or you can say, hey, I want to look and see what's available.
Yeah, you could just kind of look through and then see what, that's exciting. That's how I learned about the things that I want to do. And the class, that was another thing I really liked is how we had some 3-week classes.
Yes.
Because there were some classes that were 6 months, and I'll admit I'm one of those people that's too much of a commitment for me to come every.
Which class
Thursday.
did you go to?
I went to Marlena's the Wednesday, but it was just 3 Wednesdays. It wasn't committing for
right.
the
so you
6
got
months.
to do something during the summer.
Yes,
and that is, and I'm glad that you said that because when you talked earlier about the long break for the summer, that's why I started doing summer university.
Well, that's smart. That was great. I did.
So
get to
it
do
gave
that.
people a chance to have just a 3-week commitment, or I don't want to do 6 months or whatever.
Right.
But I do need to say that we have something that I think is really unique at our church. We have something called a no guilt policy. We never want people to feel guilty if they try something, because we tell them just try it for a few weeks.
That's true.
If it doesn't work out, it's okay. We're not going to make you feel guilty and oh, you don't like our group, you don't like us anymore. No, we don't do that. We're like, hey, let me get you back with Liz and let's find you another group that you can, that'll help you. In fact, you can find my contact information on the website or on the app and email me anytime at liz.fields@clovishills.com. I love helping people get connected. It is my joy for people to be able to be known and be prayed for and cared for. That's what I do. And so if they want to get connected, they can do that. But we want people to try things. And if it doesn't work, to try something else and keep trying until you find your people, because they're out there and you will find that group and then you'll be like, oh, I'm home. This is where I need to be. Right.
Well, that's great. And then I'm thinking, if you guys want to be in my growth group, you talk to me, talk to your Drew.
Yes.
We have fun. But there's a lot of fun ones there.
Oh, there is. And I would come be in your group. Sparkle, you and Drew.
I want to be in We'll have to do that. We'll have to go group hopping.
Let's do it. I know, right? We're opening, and I love that we have a lot of groups like that are just open, and anybody can just drop in, and they're just we always have what they call it. We always have an empty chair, and anybody's welcome to come anytime. And we have groups like that, and I love that because they care about people just being able to feel loved and accepted wherever they are. And sometimes people maybe just want to come for a few weeks and just kind of put their feet in the water, and just say, okay, get their toe in the water, and say, is this what I want to try? And they'll get hooked. They'll be like, wow, now I know why we have growth groups, because it does make a difference. And it is what Jesus exampled for us when he came to earth. He knew the importance of being together with people and being able to care for them and pray for them and equip them and train them. We exist to make new disciples. That's why we're there. We want everybody to be able to know that Jesus Christ is their personal Lord and Savior, and that is our mission, and that's what we equip and train our people to do.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today,
Thank you for
Liz.
having me. This is a joy.
You'll have to come back in 6 months and tell us what's going on.
I will tell you what I hope to come back and say, wow, we had 300 people join our growth groups and we've seen 1,000 people come to know Jesus. That would be an amazing
the goal.
thing.
We're going to work on that in
We're
6
going to get that there. All right.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always cool stuff going on.
Stunned?
I'm stunned because you're wearing Crocs. But last time you came with really cool shoes. It was like combat shoes, right?
Oh, I think the last time I was here, I brought Crocs.
No, it was combat.
Yeah, there's some combat boots. So we've stepped in, and this is how comfortable you feel on set to wear the,
Yeah.
This is my. I'm channeling my Jason Momoa. He's like my. He's like my. I told you this before. He's like my chill hero. He's just like, you know what? Gonna grow the hair out long. Gonna relax. Gonna wear Crocs. Wear comfortable pants. That's what I'm doing now.
We make it a comfortable set here at Everything Smart.
And like in 3 weeks, I'll be wearing 3-piece suits because that's all of a sudden my new thing. But right now, I'm Jason Momoa.
That's a really good point.
Yes.
He will switch his fashion on a dime.
Yep.
So we'll see.
You guys always have so much going on. So what are you doing this time? Because now I heard you're like the star. Dun.
We're co-starring in a movie. He keeps saying I'm the star, but it's only because I rip him apart in this movie.
I gotta watch this one.
Oh,
now
she
it piques my interest.
destroys me.
So do you want to explain it?
You're the star. Duly minted.
Okay, so who
Lisa
wrote
Basile.
this? You wrote this.
He did.
You're acting in it. And where can we see this?
Well, it's a reality movie, so we can see it on Tubi.
Okay.
Yeah, Tubi.tv
streaming
was
on
the network
Tubi.
that picked it up, which we were pretty excited
It
about
started
that.
out as a project that he wanted to pitch to TV for exorcism
I
stuff.
actually had we had a showrunner who was going to pitch some show ideas, and so we needed some footage for a sizzle reel, and the show was Nazi Demon Hunter.
Okay.
And so we were going to go
And
to
he always
Germany.
says TM,
Gotta go to-
trademark, don't
That's
steal
right.
that.
We're going to go to Auschwitz, and we're going to see if there are demons there because horrible things happened. So this whole big thing, and we got some footage of an exorcism that we wanted to share, and then we didn't get the show. So
we still had this footage.
which was amazing, and I'm sure.
This is from Auschwitz, so you actually did all those things.
No, we just shot locally just to give them an idea what it felt like.
Okay.
So we
that
shot in
someone
the
would
valley.
pick it up and then fund us to go over there.
Okay.
Evan Christensen actually did the initial shoot.
Right on.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't know Evan. So he did the initial shoot, and it looked gorgeous.
I bet.
It was shot so
Yeah.
well.
So then he wanted to use the footage for something else, and he thought we have enough that we can create a movie of this. But the footage that was shot was only created so that like 3 minutes of it would be shown.
Right. We filmed for an hour to get 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's how it works in this business, right?
Yeah.
But it was an hour that looked great.
So he really wanted to make it into something. And as he was starting to work on it and trying to produce it into something, I was watching it and I was just like, this just isn't compelling. I mean,
What-
it's not what
That
you're,
is
it's
the-
not your
that is-
best stuff.
That is the worst description of what she crapped all over this so hardcore. And so we're working with Hendrickson Studios. That's our production company partner. Hendrickson Studios, awesome. They did a great job. Brilliant. Jonathan Hendrickson.
Yeah, it looked like a beautiful piece of crap.
So I'd be like, so we are like, how, and we're trying to,
so shiny.
We're trying to figure out like, okay, is it found footage? Is it, do we do some acting, put it in there? And everything I brought her, she's like, oh.
He puts in like
She's like,
music
oh,
and
jump scares.
And he didn't even let me watch the whole thing because I just was kind of like, because I know his exorcism stories and I've seen some things. This was just not compelling to me. So he's like, stop. I don't want to show you anymore because I have a new idea.
Mm-hmm.
And his new idea was, I want to show you, but I want to film it. And then you can tell us and ask questions that the audience might be asking. And we actually discuss a lot about exorcisms, about the existence of evil in our world.
It's a comedy, though. It's a comedy for sure.
It says horror comedy on Tubi, but it's definitely more comedy, and there's nothing scary. He'll say
except
it's
your
like
face.
It's true. It's true. Not bad. It's like a giant React video that became a movie.
Yeah,
it's like a React video that became a movie.
Videos, like
I love
kids
it.
react to this or people react to this. It's kind of in that.
So she's reacting, then I'm reacting to her, and then we put like emojis and video, and it's all done
at one
really
point,
well.
He does get like a little defensive,
a little miffed.
And then I just look at him and I go, "Are you getting annoyed with me?" And he's
That
like,
is
"No,
so funny.
no, this is good. You should be asking these questions."
Yes. So so she crushes it, and it's really funny because it's her. So she does a really good job with it. So yeah, the Demon Stalker Chronicles
On Tubi,
picked up
streaming.
by Tubi .tv.
So it's just one film.
One
There's
film.
Yeah, it's just a short film.
We're hoping to get some more stuff out of it. We're actually in the process, which she'll be in this as well. I wrote a comedy, and that's our next project with Hendrickson Studios.
Where
it's
there's
a TV
acting,
show. Mm-hmm.
not
So we're actually going to a
reality,
scripted show that I wrote, and we'll be filming. That's our next project to make, and Lisa will be in that as well.
Right on. And then what about the action film?
The action film is still out there. It's so much money to make my books, So we have 2 books out right now, and The Last Qumranian, we did try to pitch that. We haven't. It's just a lot. I know. I get it. It's almost like we have to keep
budget.
We have to keep proving successful. This time of year, we just saw.
I mean, we could film it out in the backyard, make some our own sound effects.
That's about what we could.
Puppets.
That's what we could afford. So we just did get the Jesus Strand. Just obviously aired this month, and we have something on Tubi. We have the 2 books. She narrated the second series, Tin Cans, The Girl with Red and Black Hair, and then we just have to this next show. If we can prove successful and scripted, that's how you generate, the multi-million dollars we need to make the movie.
And how's the KMJ show going, by the way?
Oh, it's good.
Really good. Every Saturday at 11.
Yep.
Yep. And streaming on kmjnow.com.
Yep. And then
Right on. Cool. So we can see the old stuff.
Well, yeah, we are on podcast as well. So all the old shows of us, not all of them, I think they started
but
about
most
a
of them
year
are gonna
ago.
go, okay.
Yeah. But we've been doing it since December 2020.
Yep. And actually we fill in now, so you can hear us a lot of times during the week as well.
Yeah, this whole week he's on Afternoon Drive with Philip Teresi.
That's a lot of
Co-hosting.
Joe for like
That's
a
a
week.
lot
You're gonna
of
get
Joe.
overwhelmed.
There's like
How much Joe can we handle?
we reach 3 million people. That thins it out. It's
So if we spread Joe thin,
through 3 million people, it's
Then
not
it's
that
palatable.
bad. It's not
Okay.
that bad.
Yeah.
You can handle it. It's not bad at all. Yeah, I think it's in all of our projects, like on Politically Corrected, our podcast, on our radio show, Lisa is being this amazing human, and I'm just being a total crap to her and the topics and just kind of poking fun and giving her a hard time. This is the first change in this movie, the Demon Stalker Chronicles, where she's the antagonist.
Oh, you flipped the script. Okay.
She flips
I like
it.
and I go real easy, but
Nobody else thinks that.
no one thinks I do.
Nobody
but
thinks she goes easy.
I held back.
I believe it. You guys are still married, so you must have.
Yeah. A wife and a husband know what they can say and what they can't say.
Yeah. So, pretty exciting.
Awesome. And then you have gotten new fans, actually. So there's this woman that's very into your husband. She's 81 years old, so don't stress out
I'm not
about
stressed.
it.
There's many people, women, men, all into my husband.
So she's 81. So I train her every morning. She sees him. And so after he came on, the guys came on to the last time, she's like, I've been listening to the KMJ show on Saturday.
Oh,
No.
awesome.
So she's been listening. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot.
awesome.
It must have been the
Tell
man
her
bun.
thank you.
I will
Yes.
tell her.
It's getting there. It's happening. It's doing this.
And so for our viewers that don't know, talk about a little bit about your day jobs, because you're doing really cool things. I mean, you're doing okay things. So
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm finishing up my, it's basically an internship year for marriage and family therapy. I'm working at Link Care Counseling Center and as a therapist trainee. In May, I'll graduate and then I can be an associate therapist. And then I can get my 3,000 hours of face-to-face client work to then get my license. In marriage and family
wow.
therapy.
How many hours is 3,000? Is that how much?
It'll be about 2 years after this year. So
Wow.
yeah, it'll probably be about 3 full years.
That's a lot of work.
If I do it.
The last 1,000 hours are all like the shrinking heads, like the head shrinking process.
That's if you're a psychiatrist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting a doctorate. Yeah, and then Joe, what's your day job?
Oh, everybody knows my day job.
I also have another day job too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I work for a marketing firm called Solomon Advising,
She is
where-
killing it.
where I do
School,
the-
therapy.
operations managing.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave them out.
TV, radio.
That is a lot. That's a lot of
podcasts.
jobs. You guys
Yeah.
almost have me beat with. I think you guys
No,
do.
we don't.
That,
think
you
we-
guys do.
No.
I
Yeah,
think so.
I don't know. We were walking. Where was it? The Clovis Fest.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, Joe, Lisa, like what? And here comes Sparkle. What were you doing? Were you serving?
She was
Oh
like,
yeah. That's
she was like
at
a
the fight.
model server, right? Like they hired you because you were.
I actually have to do the work. I wish I was just model serving. I wish it was all I could say. It was all acting.
Right.
I just
We're
pretend.
just like, hi. So yeah, we see you all over the place, just working every job that you can.
And you guys have me beat on. Okay, so tell us what's going on at church, because
Yeah.
that's what you do. Can we
Yeah,
go
what's
move
your
on to
day
God?
job?
Yeah, well, and that's really all of our projects always go back to that. Even when we're doing politics, we're always saying, like at minimum, we want to show a couple who loves each other and who are good to each other and show God's love just the way we treat each other on radio, even when we're talking politics, and how we treat people. But at church, at First Street Church, lots of good stuff. Obviously, the holidays are here. We have a Christmas Eve service happening. And which look at me, nothing says traditional, and this thing is like super traditional. It's like
He won't be wearing
service,
this.
candlelight service, like traditional songs. So fun. I actually really like, because it's so polar opposite to everything we do. And then going into the new year, just looking to do fun stuff again. At this last year, I think we always have some really neat. We always do a lot of big fun events. So like trunk or treat, we usually have about 4,000 or 5,000 people come out to that, and so
Wow.
yeah. So we're trying to do some fun stuff. We love the community. We're right by
Isn't
Hoover.
that fun? Like, it's so funny. That's our biggest event of the year is Halloween for the church.
That is funny,
But
but
it
that's
is.
true. And
Yeah.
it is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a way to reach people.
we're actually also right now. I should say this because we are
Should
talking
you
about
say it?
I know that we could, because I
Okay.
did a test run today. We are doing a podcast from church at church that will be very, very different.
Different than what?
Is it going to be the
Different-
cigar smoking podcast?
It is.
Is
Well,
it
that'll
really?
be fun, really.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a church podcast where we're talking from a perspective of Christians looking at culture while smoking cigars.
Okay, do women get to be included in this? Because your
Sure.
cigar night,
Sure.
isn't it like a men's only?
No, it's like this is
So
something
Lisa
like,
can
yes.
be there?
I won't.
Lisa is not. She is
I'm not a smoker.
She is not a cigar person.
Not a fan.
No, you like cigars.
I do like cigars. So I
Yeah.
can come and be on the podcast.
You could
There
come
you
be on the
go.
podcast.
Right on. That'd be
You
fun.
really could. You'd have a good time. And we just been working on the room, building the room. The room looks amazing and all that. So
Oh, so it's going to be a video podcast.
it's gonna be both.
Okay.
So it'll be on obviously on audio, but also on YouTube as well. So we'll I'll let you know when that's getting done. But that's in process right now. I'm not saying the name yet
Because it could change.
because that's how finicky this
Yeah,
group is. We
yeah.
could change the name,
Yeah.
but it is actually our church's podcast.
I actually hadn't heard these details yet. This just
Today
got
we
decided
did
today.
test it. We
I knew
tested.
a few things, but
Yeah.
I didn't know the details.
Yeah, so super fun.
I didn't know you'd be smoking on it.
Yep. Why'd you shake your head no like that? It was very psychological, like smoking.
Lisa, did you ever do therapy at the church?
I don't. No, I only do it with my supervisor I do therapy on my own, but under the supervision of the clinic that I'm with. So that just means I meet with my supervisor.
But church therapy can be different, right? You don't have to be licensed. You know, you don't have to
That's
be all
true.
that,
Like
right?
if I did pastoral counseling, things like that.
Yeah, and Link Care actually has pastoral counselors at her work, so they do value that as well. We do it, but I mean, like,
I don't charge.
And we're
right.
Yeah.
Even what we do at the church is, well, it's more advicey.
Yeah.
It tends to be more like that type of like helping people, give them specific instructions.
And empathetic.
Yeah.
And walking with people in their life.
Yeah, all that stuff's fine. Sure.
So what do they think? Have they seen the Tubi show? A lot of your congregation. What do they think of it?
They have actually.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has come out and said they hated it.
But no, I don't think they would. Actually, I've had people who saw it when they watched it with us at Matt's. I had other people rewatch it again and really liked it a lot. So actually, all the feedback's been really good. In our church, obviously, we've been doing media forever, so it's not weird for our church for us to have any kind of a media thing, especially one that's comedy like this. But it's been really well received. Actually, I had somebody tell me they didn't want to watch it because they were afraid because it's actually at an exorcism,
right?
So they're like, ooh.
And then I tell people, don't worry.
They were worried
it's
that
not scary.
The demons would get them from watching it on the movie.
Wow, like the movie The Ring, but like the Christian version of it
would be like the Lord of the Ring. No, I don't know.
That's taken.
That's already taken. Yeah. So they were like, I don't know about that. I'm like,
don't even want to discuss demons.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And again, the topic's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
And
I guess I am a little bit desensitized to it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's fine. It's no big deal. But
I know you're desensitized because we had this amazing movie about demons and you didn't believe it. So you're totally desensitized.
It just wasn't compelling footage.
It was pretty impressive, actually. It's pretty crazy. In fact, one of the lines in it, because if you watch the trailer, talks about, it's a peacock. That's Lisa's big line. It's a peacock.
That's my big line.
But one of the lines in it, we're watching it and we're talking about whether or not demons can possess animals or birds, something like that. And so we're talking about this peacock situation, whatever. And Ryan goes, I've had peacocks on the ranch forever. I go, okay, do they ever fly? He goes, no. I go, so what do you think about that peacock in this shot right here that's 30 feet in the air? Is that different? Is that weird to you? And he's like, no, it's all different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, they don't fly. I'm like, that's 30 feet up in the air.
I looked it up, though. They do roost in trees when feeling threatened.
Oh my!
They do.
She's positioning herself when you watch the movie.
But they're normally land dwellers.
Oh my gosh!
That's true.
So
I do. Yeah, that is true. I did a photo shoot with peacocks.
Oh.
And we even got them with their little, it open. So it turned out pretty nicely.
Is that a tail? What is that you're referencing?
Yeah.
You know, whatever that. What is it?
They're feathers. They're feathers.
All I can think of now. I'm not joking. In my head, when I did this, I heard doom doom doom.
What's that?
The NBC peacock. I just heard it in my head.
So okay, what's the consensus? Can't they possess animals, or what do we think?
Well, we knew that
Jesus.
they can. Just did they really possess any animals in this thing?
Well, do we have a lot of accounts of it happening? I mean, because we have a lot of and how do you expel them from animals the same way as a human?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the same way. I mean,
how do you know if an animal is possessed by a demon, though? That's
if you want to know for sure.
I wonder if all cats are.
If you want to know for sure, if you ever want to like genuinely check out an animal possessed by a demon, then you need to watch the Demon Stalker Chronicles because there is an animal in there possessed by a demon, and she disagrees.
I just don't know how you would know, though. I mean, what way would the animal act?
I'm a demon.
Did he just say I'm a demon?
Yeah,
I'm a demon.
I'm a demon.
Is that what the animals are doing? What animal is that?
That's a peacock.
It's a peacock. It's a peacock.
So where do we keep up with all your guys' crazy shenanigans?
We need to start a website.
She's been told me. She goes, we need to start a website.
We're going to start a website.
You're the marketing person.
I know, right?
You got to get on it with all your 5 million jobs. You got to get on it.
So either on any social media platform, either Joe and or Lisa Basile, you can just find either one of us.
And you guys have one together with the KMJ one.
We do the KMJ one.
Everything Sparkle follows the KMJ one.
Yeah, Basil. It's at Basil KMJ.
At Basil KMJ. And if you go there, you'll find everything from there.
Yeah.
Like you can get direction to all that.
Or just Google Joe Basile demons.
It's true.
And you'll get him.
And you'll get Tubi right away. You'll get the link, which is wonderful. What people don't know is Tubi is global. and it's massive. It is. In the U.S., people can afford Netflix and Prime and HBO Max, so it's not as big here, like well known.
I think it's gotten pretty big here.
It has.
Yeah.
People know
Huge
it.
now,
Yeah.
and it's got. I tell people this is my line all the time. Tubi has massive, massive, mega blockbuster movies on there, and mine. That's how I describe Tubi.
I think that's the one platform we're not on. We got to get on Tubi.
Tubi, which was quite the journey actually, but yeah. So they're.
Yeah.
They,
to have anyone pick us up was like,
we didn't know. We didn't know if the
Yeah.
network was going to grab it, so we were pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Okay, so what about the YouTube show coming out? When are we going to get to see the Smoking Cigar Pastor YouTube?
I'll let you know. Probably in January and the New Year, we'll releasing episodes. So that soon. We're testing it all now, and we'll probably release. We're actually probably going to record one tomorrow.
And you'll probably tag First Street Church in it.
Yeah.
So.
And that'll be the nice part is you'll be able to find that on First Street Church.
And you guys will also talk about the events coming up at the church, even on the.
Probably. I don't know how much we're going to do. I think we're try not to make it marketing, try not to make it direct marketing for the church, but more like marketing of like the quality of what you're going to experience, the honest conversations and all.
And that is, you guys do bring it, so.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's it. That's what we got.
That's what, I mean, yeah, and then I'm sure we'll have you back in another 6 months to say what's going on then.
And I'm telling you, if you have not heard Lisa we do a dramatic presentation of Tin Cans, the girl with red and black hair. If you don't own Audible, it is free if you sign up for Audible. Yeah, you get free trial, so you'll be able to listen to it in time. That book is amazing. She does all the voices. It's fantastic. The music is great. It is such a great Audible book if somebody's looking for something to listen to.
It's pretty short. I think it's only 5 hours.
5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yep. Tin Cans, the girl with red and black hair. It's a new. I have 2 book series. That's the second book series.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Yeah.
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 Surprise!
So wait, that's,
Surprise! Merry
so wait,
Christmas!
that's the book we have. So we have the series with the 2 books, and now we have
Last Qumranian and then this new series.
Yes.
So what's this series geared towards? What age group?
Oh, this is good. So this is my part. I'll talk this time.
This is your
It is.
creation.
It's fantasy and it's YA, young adult. So basically, somebody from who was like 13 to
the same
60.
middle school up.
Yeah, up. And it's really neat. It's a female lead, and she's basically a homeless girl, and she's living in a world. So the world, basically, it's the world before Earth.
Okay.
It's like a different universe.
It's a different universe. It's the idea that it's actually just before Earth. It's the first planet, and in that planet, there's 2 groups of people. There's the Muthos, and there's the Humanos, which are 2 real words.
Okay.
And the Muthos is the word for mythic that we use. So elves, trolls, ogres, all those are one group of people. Humanos are the humans, like that. And it's a social commentary on the tension between the Muthos are mistreated, the Humanos are kind of like in charge of the planet. And it's basically like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings had a baby.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the best way to understand it. It's basically the story of a savior for the Muthos is arising. But what's weird is the savior's a Humanus, and he's going to save the Muthos and everybody. So it's a very, very fun story.
Kind of like a Jedi.
She's like a Jedi.
I mean, like, and you do the narration.
Yeah.
This is
and she
really
does
cool.
all the voices. I mean, it's really
How
fun.
fun.
Yeah, I had a running library of different voices so that when I went back to the voice, I could listen to it first and then be like, okay, that's what that character
I bet you'd
sounds like.
have to, because it would be confusing after a
Yes.
while when you go back. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited. This is really cool. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, it's really fun.
So once again, the title is
Tin Cans, the girl with red and black hair.
Tin Cans.
Because it's a young African-American girl, and her sidekick is a little tiny robot named Tin.
I love it.
Yeah.
Tin Cans.
This is great. Thank you guys so much for coming on my
Thanks for
show.
having us.
Thanks for having us again.
Yay, thank you so much. I love it. Yay. This is so great. Yay. Every single cemetery is a victory for Satan. Everyone.
So a lot of people have seen shadowy figures.
Okay.
And they've seen darting figures in between the headstones.
identify this place as haunted. It is coming at us. You guys see this? We called it over. It's coming. Hold on. What's that?
It's a peacock.
Have you ever talked to a bird and it chirped back at you?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You'd literally be like, hey, crow.
Yes.
Hey, crow. And the crow's like, ah. And you're like, no, this or that. And it's like, ah. The jump scares are because I like to scare people.
Okay.
I pointed at a grave and said the child can live.
Is this because you're committing a crime?
Are you asking me what a demon looks like?
Yes.
They're literally like, there's no right or wrong answer to that. It could be anything. Every atheist in the world is going to be your friend after this movie.
I'm excited for more.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Edward.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here for my third time.
Third time.
Third time's a charm.
I mean, the first time your daughter stole the show. So.
She stole it. She stole it, and that was cool because it was during COVID.
And it was her birthday.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
You have good memory. She's 3. She's 3. So growing up fast on me. So yes, man.
So we have an event coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Countdown to King. You guys are the first ones hearing about it.
I feel special.
Yeah. This is our second time doing it. We did it 2 years ago. Well, this year will be 3 years, but we did it 3 years ago. Had the event, and it's a Dr. King event for Dr. King weekend. It's a concert rally that counts down. I know there's so many King events, but this one is unique and special. It counts down into King Day, almost like a New Year's Eve celebration. It's a real cool event. We bring some of the top influencers, TV personalities.
It was huge when you had it 3 years ago,
it was
before COVID. Tell us a little bit about that event. So we know what to
my
expect.
God, it was crazy. Well, like I said, we brought some of the biggest names from Fresno, people that young people and people like see on the news and on TV and on the radio and hear their music. Fresno State's quarterback at the time, Marcus McMaryion, came, Kimmy, Carmen. So many people came together to push peace, unity, and love. We know with all the hate, violence that we see in the Valley, I wanted to give the youth something to see that I normally wouldn't see these rappers in the same building at the same time. I normally wouldn't see B95 and Q97 in the room at the same time, but they can get together, then we can get together. And we all push and inspire love and peace and unity that night. And my inbox was so full afterwards from people, young people, really encouraged and uplifted by the message that we were able to send. And we're excited to be back with it.
Well, I love that you're doing it now because you did it before COVID.
Yes, ma'am.
And now we've lost so much hope since, you know what I mean? It's been a very sad time. We had to now get used to like not having things to having things, all that. So this is going to be like 2.0 for you with this event because now you're really bringing some like peace and hope to people that we need to regain that what we've lost over the past couple of years. Yes,
ma'am. And we're excited to do that. We know what COVID and you can be the strongest person and it had an effect. And a lot of people need peace, unity, and hope. And that's the thing that Dr. King operated in. Of course, he was for bringing change and equality. And that's the thing with the event. We try to bring and pushing for the rights of African Americans. That's the thing we like to bring. But we like to touch on everything he brought. And he brought that peace and that love and that hope. And that's needed now, like you said. So we're going to be excited to bring that.
And you had a very diverse, eclectic group then, and you're going to now. So you said it was for African American, but you had everybody there. It's huge. You had every group, so I really like that too. It's how we unify.
It's huge. One thing, Dr. King, he was about equality. He wasn't about us being by ourselves and the blacks with the blacks and the whites with the whites. He wanted us all he wanted our rights to be included, for us to be included with the whites. And we want to vote with you guys. We want to drink at the same water fountain back then. We want to eat at the same lunch counter. And this night isn't just for my people. It's about us all coming together, showing love and having equality. It's so many of us from whatever different race background that are doing amazing things. And it shows the valley that we can all come together, from the church to music to TV to sports athletes. It doesn't matter. We could all come together.
Yeah, and this is a really exciting time because you took like a 3-year hiatus from the event. I mean, you had to because of COVID, but like so much happened in that time with the races because then that's when we started having
George Floyd. And,
we had all of that.
Yeah.
We had that event. We had the Asian hate thing going on. We went through a really bad genocide war in Armenia, and there was marches for all these different things that had happened during it. So this is a really interesting time because there's so much happened in that 3 years that was like a lot of stuff for all these races. So I'm really glad that you're bringing it all together with this event.
Yeah,
it's a great time for it.
It's the perfect time for it, and,
right.
Like I said, we're thrilled just to play a part to bring everyone together, and from there. You'll see unity, and we hope that that's seen in something that the youth and people in general can look and say that we could all get together despite what we see out in the world.
And so you're going to have some entertainers. I know you're not going to drop names exactly of who you're having, but what should we expect? Concerts, rock, rap, some more entertainers. Can we expect?
You can expect some of the biggest names. Obviously, we're going to be doing our name drops in the next few weeks, and the first year when we did it, I would come out with like 7 names and put the flyers out, and everybody's going crazy. And then the next day, oh my God. So when we drop the names in the next few weeks, it's going to be amazing. But you're going to see some of the biggest names, rap. You're going to see rock. You're going to see bands. You're going to see some of everyone there that night. Every genre, hip hop, gospel, everything. So it's going to be something that the Valley is going to definitely be thrilled about.
Some sports people?
Oh, yeah, sports people. We have athletes from Fresno State. We have people that work for the NBA that are doing amazing things from Fresno. So it's going to definitely be hot, and the Valley's going to be thrilled about it.
And some more of the music stations and the local media and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're going to have local TV personalities, radio personalities. I can't wait for somebody. I have this picture from the event. It's actually my favorite picture from the event. It's myself, Carmen, CK, Kimmy from Q97 at the time, and I'm in the middle. And it's just everybody loved that picture because it's them with it, together at one time, and it kind of spoke to what the night was about. Was everybody coming together? You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's going to be some of what we expect this year. And then food. What about the food? What do we get to eat?
Oh, there's going to be trucks. It's going to be at Tower Theater. So we're not providing food, but we are connecting some food trucks that are going to be there. It's going to be amazing. But we're really looking forward to it.
So where do we get our tickets from? Could we get a Tower Theater?
So this is the thing about the tickets. The tickets are free. All you have to do is come and show up. It's something that my people pushed me last year to charge for it, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. I like doing this for the Valley. None of our performers are paid. I'm not paid.
The community's coming because they want to be there. Everyone's coming because
everybody's coming to make a difference, to use their gift, use their talent, use their influence to push for peace, unity, and love. And it's not something that I'm going to charge the community for to come and experience that love and peace. So it's like I do is show up. That's your ticket.
But we do have to have a ticket, though, right? Or we don't even have to have a ticket?
No, you don't even have to have a ticket. Just
I love that. Okay.
Show up that night, and it's going to be an amazing time.
Wow, how exciting.
And hopefully we have everything sparkle in the house. So
I love it. What's the date again? So what's it?
January 15th.
January 15th, which is a
Sunday night.
That is absolutely perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. So no one has an excuse, and then it's right after the holidays, so we're all gonna calm down and come.
Yes, ma'am. And the next day, the reason it going late and it kind of gave him this excuse. Dr. King Day is a lot of people have work off the next day, school off the next day, so kind of rest the next day. So
it's a countdown. We can't do it. We have to do it a little bit before.
Exactly. There you go.
And so you've done a lot of things over there. I mean, it doesn't really surprise me that you're having a free ticket because we did the shoe thing run, and then the last time you were here was the
It was actually our shoe event.
Yeah, so we've done both the shoes. So and how did that go? What was the difference in the shoes that you guys raised? Because you did so great with that.
It was amazing. This was our biggest year so far, and
So
every
it
year
keeps growing.
that's our goal. That's our goal. We started off the first year taking bags to group homes, and our first event open to the community. I think we had about 100 to close to 200 people. This year we had 900 people show up at our Fresno
Are you
event. Yeah,
serious? That's a huge jump in
900
attendance.
people. But also with that, this was our first year expanding, doing it, as I told you last time, in Las Vegas as well, with the help of so many gracious organizations and Christine Stokes for Top Rank Boxing. She was amazing, that connected us, and that connection, God just brought that together. And with that event, I put the video out when I was there. We drove up because we didn't know what to expect. We know they've been doing their work
Right.
out there. We brought shoes, and we've been working along with them. I come and pull in, and it's people, just lines of people up and down the street. That event had 900 people as well. So we with both events was
Wow.
900 people. So we were able to touch so many lives and bless so many families and kids this year, which we were thrilled to do. So every year's bigger and bigger, but God's given us the tool. And I don't like to stay complacent with things that I do and people that I help. Is I know it's more than even the 900 people we blessed last year. It's even more so this year. We're thinking in the thousands. So every year is something bigger we want to do to bless even more people. We don't want to put a cap on it.
Well, and people just don't even understand how hard you work. Just
Yeah.
as it always amazes me that you came to my work and met me in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
met me in the parking lot to get the shoes. It was the
Yeah,
greatest thing
myself,
ever.
I don't say it much, but I always say our team goes out in our team, but I'm a part of the team, even though
And I love that
I'm
you
the
came
leader.
in and did that. That was so great. You're like,
Yeah,
I'll be you. And
I
you came in the
came
parking
in,
lot
yeah.
when I was at work at the gym. So,
Yes, ma'am, and that's what I do. I drive around Fresno along with my team. They're out maybe on one section of town. I'm on another section of town, and we do like drop off drives and stuff like that. But some people have work, like I told you last time, and where they can't drop off. And this year, what was amazing, two things was we opened it up to volunteers, and we didn't know, like, people have asked us before, like, do you guys need help? In our team, we have a great team. All of my team is amazing. Um, but we opened it up to volunteers, and we had over 40, close to 50 volunteers at our event this year. And then when I went to go pick up, like when I picked up from you, it was so many people just so excited to be bringing bags of shoes out of their house, and the joy
yeah.
on their face was really one of my favorite parts about the whole event this past year. So
This is so great. And so tell everyone where you're at, what your church is. And then are you every Sunday? Are you always like preaching every Sunday? Or like how does that work at your church? What do you guys got going on?
no, my father.
Your father's still doing
Yeah,
the Sundays.
my father is the Sundays. And I serve as the minister. I'm a minister, but some big things coming in 2023. So definitely keep your eyes out for.
So Sunday's the day and then you guys have where you guys have like growth groups too.
Yeah, they have groups at the church. Groups in churches are so important, just as far as connecting people and getting more of a personal touch and getting to know people. I heard in the previous interview talking so much about people just coming in, and some people you pray as a whole, but you don't really get to touch people and get to know them. And some people have left churches like that, like nobody actually reached out to me,
Right.
and nobody worried about me or anything like that. So it's big when you show people that you care, that you care about them outside of the four walls, because the church is one thing, but I always say that outside of the four walls is where I want to be known for in my ministry. Of course, it's important being a pastor and in the pulpit and what we do inside the building, but the connections that we make outside of that and the people that we're able to reach outside of that when you leave on Sundays, because Sundays is only a short time or whatever day you come during the week, but when you're able to affect outside and during the week and those people that are outside the building, that's really an amazing thing and something that I try to prioritize.
So where do we get a hold of you? Can viewers be able to just ask about questions like that, how they can be involved in your church, and then how they could be involved in this event if they want to be involved in
Yes,
the January
ma'am.
15th event or donate?
I'm on Instagram, Darrell Thomas, so you can reach me on there. Then also Impact Outreach, which is my nonprofit that me and my team work out of.
And then that's also, does that mean at the church a lot, the impact, or that's just something kind of separate?
That's something kind of separate. It's me and my team, kind of my work that I've done outside of that. But yeah, that's something that's outside of that.
Well, that's awesome. So we can also kind of get connected with that, with the impact as well.
Yes, ma'am. Impact is huge, and it's something that we try to do. Try to make sure that we're impacting. We don't want to be impactless. We want to make sure that we're impacting people. And impact is a crazy word because it's like something that hits. I always tell my team we don't want to make noise. We want to make impact. We want people to feel us. We want people to be affected by what we do, and we feel like that's what we've been able to do. So I'm real proud of that.
That's really cool. So through the next couple of weeks, you're going to trickle in some of the people that are going to be out there because you like to tease us like that. Every time you just want to tease us about what's happening.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, you'll be seeing some names.
But you could drop my name down. I will be there, so I will definitely come and support.
First name Sparkle. There we go. First name Sparkle, and we're definitely going to be thrilled to have you along with us this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. You're always welcome back, and keep us like every time you come. There's something really cool we talk about that. Like that, like I had no idea the 900. That was so cool.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for the opportunity to be on it. It's always in as many interviews as I always do. It's amazing to do Sparkle. It's one of my favorites. You're the best. You're the best.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh, I must confess, dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend.
It's a mystery.